Alright, so I didn't do a video about edgeoffate, but I decided I wanted to do one about renegades, so that's what I'm doing. So this is gonna be all live, as you can see. I'm currently hovering over rail tracks. We're in orbit. We're just gonna go straight off the mine. So I guess I'll talk about the PvE stuff first. So what's good? Well, the campaign was fun. The encounters were genuinely well designed. The story was interesting, probably because it was just copying Star Wars, but it was interesting at least. I liked Bale. I think the Cabal guy, this guy, needed to be in the story more. It was kind of just about Bale and Drifter betraying, not betraying, and his ghost or whatever. I think that's my opinion of the story. Lawless Frontier, probably the best activity they've made. I'll be honest, Lawless Frontier is really good. They're copying Helldivers. Just apparently works. Apparently copying Helldivers is a good idea, so they should do that more. At Density was fun. My problems is that it was too easy. It relied on the new activity too much, and most of the campaign's length was just redoing the activity, like one of each activity. If I can find the missions, if it's in here. No, it's quests. Yeah, there's 6 missions. One of them's the exotic mission. The N2 are about 30 minutes it'll take you to do. And then the other 3 aren't even like proper full-length missions, and they kind of just use the activity area, and it's just a remixed version of the activity. That's not very good. I forgot to mention the tutorial. The tutorial is actually quite nice. They did a really good job with the tutorial. I don't remember if I mentioned how easy it was. It was really easy to do that campaign. Like, the encounters themselves really well made, but it was just so easy that they kind of didn't matter. I sort of wish they bumped up the difficulty of Legend campaign. The only time I even struggled was when they dropped 2 AT-ATs down and told you to go kill them, and that was about it. Bale is too Kylo Ren. They copy Star Wars too much. What else? That's about it for criticisms. Next is the invasion mode. I want to talk about invasion as a separate thing, because I think invasion is amazing. They did a really good job with invasions. They're fun to do, they feel rewarding to do as an invader. They're not intrusive in the actual PvE. It's kind of just, hey, there's a guy here. Go shoot him. And most of the time you'll only ever lose a couple revives. If you get a good invader, you'll lose 3, and you start with 9. No, you start with 11. You start with 11 revives. So you'll be at 8 at the worst. And then you can always pick up more by just destroying the bots, because it uses basically the same mechanics from the Never, if you remember the Never. My main problem is the Helldiver abilities, or the Renegade abilities, are really, really annoying, and some people choose to play it in very annoying ways. The most common strat is using the revitalizing pool. Yeah, most common strat is using the revitalizing pool to get a super and then you just loop that over and over for the free kills. That's very annoying, especially when people combine it with either the AT-AT or like Behemoth as it's called in game. Or they use the shield, the Vex shield, that you can shoot through for some reason. I don't think you should be able to shoot through it, but you can. So I would enjoy if they do something about that. I would also enjoy if they made it so I was doing actual invasions against PvE enemies and not just constantly doing invader duels, because I feel like that entirely ruins the point of invasions, and at that point I'm just 1v1ing someone with abilities that shouldn't really be a thing in a PvP setting. So I think if either they make it so actual invasions are common, and just nerf the abilities, or just keep it how it is and then remove the abilities from the 1v1s, maybe. That would be nice. I honestly feel like every time I've lost an invasion is not due to my own skill. It has always been someone using a super on me, or like the walker, and I just don't have the thing on me to kill it. Or like a super on me to kill it. I probably fixed that myself fairly easily. I will admit, but it's definitely not fun to... Definitely not fun when you get put against someone who is just a worst player and then they win because they had a super for free by just pressing a button. I also sort of hope they bring the invasion system outside of just the renegade stuff. I would greatly enjoy if it was just in the game as a whole. So you could go invade people in normal activities, maybe make it like a separate node you have to launch into that's like ultimate invadable fallen saber that drops double the loots. That would be cool, I think. And it would always give like people they would give people a reason to interact with getting invaded and also like reward them. And in PvE, like make it so it drops PvE loot or something, so PvP players then have a way to get the PvE loot by doing something that they want to do. An idea. I think that's it for renegade specific stuff. Actually, no, that's the gear. I like the Renegade's gear, actually. I'll be honest, I kind of like the blasters. Favorite one is probably the SMG. I just really like this SMG's model. The sights, they started doing actual sights with the weapons from edgeoffate. Where is that old rifle? What's good this? So yeah, they started doing actual sights again with Renegades, and I am very happy they have started doing actual sights again, because I really like it. I also really like what they did with the sidearm. Sidearm's probably my second favorite. The animation changes make it so much nicer to shoot silenced sidearms. I should really try Helios. I'm gonna try them now, actually. Go find the Helios on this page. I also really like the whole rework. This is really nice. I'm gonna try Helios and this next game. Hopefully I get a decent match. Yeah. They started doing sights. They made weapons a lot easier to see with. And the new gear actually feels like genuinely good. Like, I've been using the Field shotgun. This lightweight feels amazing. Like, unironically. This is probably the best lightweight shotgun, like, ever. This new aggressive burst SMG I've really been enjoying. I've not used it as much as some other weapons, but this has been really fun. There are also complaints of comp, but actually doing it and getting rewarded with a like unique weapon always cool. I like that with Belisarius, I like that with Redrex. This new PvP hand cannon is also nice. I kind of wish it was a Trials drop, just because I like Igneous' model more. But and then there's this new Trials hand cannon that I'm looking forward to. I'm upset Trials isn't out today. There's a new Trials hand cannon. I don't think it's going to show me it because the collections are broken. They're with this. It has Fatebringer's model, which is I don't know about, because I don't really like Fatebringer's model in PvP, but I'll have to try it. So, that's nice. It's a bit better. It's only not as bad as it was before. But they said they like changed heliocentric more like animation as well. I'm sure I've only like actually used I've used Bolsters and I've used Compact Defender. I've not tried heliocentric yet. So then there's actual PvE and PvP stuff. So PvE, I think the Vanguard alert system is really good. I think that's like a really, I think it's an interesting way to bring back weekly stuff. Just and putting it all in one menu is very nice. Annoyingly, it's in the seasonal hub, so you have to click on here, and then it's hidden away in here. I don't know why. They could have honestly just made it like another button on the main portal menu, and they probably should have. So it's right in people's faces, because no, yeah, this guy from yeah, it would have been nice for it to be right in people's faces, like right here or something, or like on here. The orders are also cool. I'm getting recognized right now, oh my god. Okay. But yeah, the orders are cool as well. But that's what I'm gonna know that menu for. I'm not gonna know it for the conquest, I'm not gonna know it for anything else. I'm just gonna know it as that is the menu for the order system, and not Vanguard alerts, so I would appreciate it just being its own, like, button. I like the, like, shiny weapons and the, like, tiered up weapons for people who haven't got to 550 or, like, 450 yet. It's gonna be really good for them. The shiny weapons having a, like, special origin trait is super cool, actually. I wish it was a bit more useful. Admittedly, I've only really used it on this, but it, like, literally didn't do anything. It never got it to activate. But it's cool to have. And it's cool to have, like, an aspirational grind for the shiny stuff again. This is also featured on the renegades guns as well, so you have, like, double grinding for the renegades guns. Oh yeah, the renegades gear is also separated from the power system, I believe. I think as soon as you unlock the ability to do, like, Ultima, you can start any tier 5, like, renegade loot, which is good. It's, like, mostly separate from the power system. The order system, or the actual order system. This replaces seasonal challenges and also the like weekly reward thing. I think it's cool. It's basically just like a reintroduction of bounties, but they're like all in one menu, so you don't really have to worry about them. And they give a lot of XP. As you can see, I am already nearly done with the pass. So I like them. I like that they can randomly just give you like an extra drop. Which is cool. That would be good for, again, power leveling. And the exotic orders, cool. Just extra exotic drops. Just doing them. And they get materials as well. And I don't think I have it on you, but you can get a core for your lightsaber, like a crystal. The price of blade not on it. I don't think it's on it. See what I mean? The collections are just broken. But yeah, the lightsaber. You can get a crystal for the lightsaber that tons of yellow from it, like as a random thing, and I think that's cool. Everything else related to the portal, though, it hasn't changed. So if you don't like the portal, you probably still will not like the portal. Oh yeah, and they also made it so playlists are actually useful to do, which is great. Which is actually really good. I like that playlists are useful again, and I just ran into them. Okay. But yeah, you can literally, like, you can get to 550 and actually have a reason to go do the playlist, and it will give you rewarding stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. So you can just go here, click this, and then play the game. If that is a good enough portal improvement for you, then there you go. You no longer have to go do preset modifiers every time. But other than that, it's not changed. Everything is basically the same. Although you do get shot up like straight to 300 power, so if you didn't pick up the free like 300 power drop, you will basically get up to that instantly. So it's only really a grind now from 300 to 450 before you can start getting the busker. Which, the 150 levels is not bad at all. It's honestly easier than... it genuinely is easier than what it was previously. You kind of just get it by playing the game. Also, yeah, this is definitely a lot easier to use. Unfortunately, I still can't him. So yeah. Next there is PvP. Nothing ever happens. Nothing ever happens. Pretty much. Okay, I figured it. Pretty much nothing has changed from last season. So if your last season was in a bad spot, it's just as bad. I think Void Hunter got slightly nerfed, so it's slightly less annoying to fight. Like, Void is way easy to see if you're on a bright map now, because it's way darker, but other than that, it is basically the same game. They've done no significant changes. Trials is probably going to work exactly the same, although they did add a few more drops to it. And balancing is the same. If anything, it's gotten worse. They've just buffed Armamentarium to give it free Demolitionist. And they've buffed basically every other aspect of Void Hunter because it's kind of easier. Okay, done it. Thank God. I know someone had it on. I swear I saw a Graviton. It's not any of you. It'd be you. No. Okay. Well, they buffed Graviton, so now when you go invisible, it gives you extra ability energy charge rates, and also if you go invisible enough, you gain an overshield. And they've also made it so Omnioculus starts half regen. So they're doing great changes. They've done nothing to pulse rifles. They've done nothing to spread shotgun cannons. They tried to nerf slug shotguns, but trust me, it's done literally nothing. They've maybe nerfed Chaperone. I've not used Chaperone yet, but I really should. But they tried to nerf Chaperone. They didn't do a good job. And then, yeah, nothing's changed. They buffed sniper rifles, actually. They buffed sniper flinch for some reason. Even though snipers were the only, balanced weapon, because they got more ammo than everything else. Which is why they took, 50 billion flinch. I think they should have made it worse, actually. If I'm being honest, if they gave them 2 shots, they should have just brought it back to what it was from Final Ship launch, but oh well. So, yeah, PvP is not in a good spot. It's at least rewarding. It's at least rewarding. If you could deal with it last season, you can probably deal with it now, but it's not in a good spot. They did nothing about anything that was bad, and that's all I can really say. I'll probably make an entire video on why the balancing is just dreadful at the moment. But, yeah. I think that's basically everything. There's the exotics, I guess. So I can't even show you the lightsaber, I think, because I don't have it on me. Let me pull the lightsaber to my inventory. So I got the lightsaber. As you can see, now I've got the crystals. This is the yellow one. You also got a red one for doing PvP. But yeah, you got the lightsaber. It's actually really fun. There's a bunch of customizability. You get one perk that makes it so you gain eager edge when you block. That's cool. Has really good stats. Luckily it doesn't one-shot people when you do this. It doesn't one-shot them. The block is kind of annoying though. If you hit them once with a blocked or a deflected projectile and then hit them with the swing, it then kills them. So, bit of an annoying playstyle, but at least it removes all your ammo when you die. Then there's the machine gun. Actually, look at it. There it is. The machine gun's pretty cool. I've not really used it, but it is a healing auto rifle machine gun, so I suppose if you're doing something where it's optimal to have good head clear, and you only really need a min retrograde for any form of damage, you can just run this and you'll be. And then you also have plenty of head clear and healing. I got disconnected. When that was. I've not gotten the Titan jetpack yet, but I've heard it's fun. It's not really useful though. This is very good. Just because it's a free 5% damage, but I do think there are better exotics to be running if you're on a Void Hunter. And then Demeus Fusion. I think it falls off in higher end stuff, but it is very good. If you very want to make it work, it is very good. In PvP, it's very annoying. Because you can just weave walk or run up to someone, rift, and then they get suspended because that's a mechanic in the game. It's about as busted as I thought it would be originally. So yeah, I think that's That's basically everything I need to talk about, so